style. My hope is some combination of them will agree to train you. In the meantime, you should expect more guerrilla-style tests of your ability to fight back.
Gorilla. Gorilla.
More guerrilla-style tests of your ability to fight back. In the hands of a marksman, it's quite accurate at close range. You, sir, were not assailed by a marksman.
Marksman. Marksman.
You, sir, were not assailed by a marksman. From a rifled barrel, as opposed to a smooth bore, which suggests that whoever's behind the attack has access to high-level firearm augmentation.
Augmentation. Augmentation.
Has access to high-level firearm augmentation.
He was the target of a detail I was assigned to in 09 back when I was still at uni.
Aspiring drug kingpin, I see.
Kingpin. Kingpin.
Aspiring drug kingpin, I see. It's the detail. It says here he was suspected of crimes ranging from racketeering to torture and murder. Yet
Racketeering. Racketeering.
ranging from racketeering to torture and murder. Yet she boxes. I can tell from her knuckles and the tape residue. Perhaps she would agree to spar with you. Give me the...
Spar. Spar.
Perhaps she would agree to spar with you. Give me the...
Nothing to do with watching two women engaged in some foxy boxing.
You think you're foxy?
Foxy. Foxy.
You think you're foxy?
As a matter of fact, I was going to do that today.
I'm going to ask you one more time, Mr. Bradshaw. Can you account for your whereabouts or can't you?
Whereabouts. Whereabouts.
Can you account for your whereabouts or can't you?
You're a gambling man, Mr. Bradshaw.
I've been known to make the occasional wager, but
Wager. Wager.
I've been known to make the occasional wager, but
I bet...
Marcus Bulletproof Bell.
Bulletproof. Bulletproof.
Marcus Bulletproof Bell.
Appreciate it. I'm pretty sick of the unsold burgers you let.
Unsold. Unsold.
I'm pretty sick of the unsold burgers you let.
So, why not farm out the hit to one of his lieutenants?
His grudge with Bell is very clearly personal. Nothing...
Grudge. Grudge.
His grudge with Bell is very clearly personal. Nothing...
Media's already working a killer cops angle.
I think this is retribution.
Retribution. Retribution.
I think this is retribution. I think this is retribution for the attack on Detective Bell.
Ridiculous.
Astute, actually.
Astute. Astute.
Astute, actually. But no, I don't think that you would shoot a man in cold blood.
Good.
Nevertheless, you will need answers rather than indignation.
Indignation. Indignation.
Nevertheless, you will need answers rather than indignation.
I promise you.
You were held at gunpoint?
Gunpoint. Gunpoint.
You were held at gunpoint?
We both were, me and Sherlock's friend.
His ex-dealer.
There was a struggle. The man with the gun was incapacitated.
Incapacitate. Incapacitate.
The man with the gun was incapacitated. This is because you're about to see how quickly I can call the police.
Watson, you startled me. Sorry about the din.
Din. Din.
Sorry about the din.
I don't think the NYPD knows about Tico. My boss talked to him and 5 just like him before they pull my car out the gutter.
Gutter. Gutter.
Before they pull my car out the gutter.
Yet it was the last thing Curtis Bradshaw saw in his. I just compared the slugs I fired into that dummy.
Dummy. Dummy.
I just compared the slugs I fired into that dummy. He would have no choice but to inform internal affairs. The last thing our investigation needs right now is a jaunt around the bureaucratic maypole, wouldn't
Jaunt. Jaunt.
his jaunt round the bureaucratic maypole would...
I take the bathroom is also a bust.
Well, it depends. Can you think of any reason that Belle would have a lingerie catalogue on...
Lingerie. Lingerie.
Would have a lingerie catalogue on... Depends. Can you think of any reason that Belle would have a lingerie catalogue on which your head has been superimposed on almost...
Superimpose. Superimpose.
On which your head has been superimposed on almost... Stayed. See me through it. Now, when I learned of the lie, however, I deliberately adopted a more sanguine mood.
Sanguine. Sanguine.
I deliberately adopted a more sanguine mood. Assist me in my investigations. In return, you will receive a stipend that will...
Stipend. Stipend.
In return, you will receive a stipend that will...
Yeah, this is Detective Marcus Bell, badge number 42819. I need a bus at 73 Parsons Boulevard.
Parson. Parson.
I need a bus at 73 Parsons Boulevard.
Clearly have the same idea here. I foiled the first frame up when I delivered the 9mm to the police.
Millimeter. Millimeter.
The 9mm to the police. Detective Bell's sibling lost consciousness. Before he did, he makes a valiant attempt.
Valiant. Valiant.
Before he did, he makes a valiant attempt. Detective Bell's sibling lost consciousness. Before he did, he makes a valiant attempt to make sure that he doesn't end up a prop in that masquerade.
Masquerade. Masquerade.
Attempt to make sure that he doesn't end up a prop in that masquerade. See the slight proclivity in the dirt.
Declivity. Declivity.
See the slight proclivity in the dirt.
Don't you think it's time for us to tell Captain Gregson about the framer?
Framer. Framer.
It's time for us to tell Captain Gregson about the framer.
I was up 20 minutes ago.
It takes time. It's a good sign we decided to suture.
Suture. Suture.
It's a good sign we decided to suture. Your place is immaculate. Your sock drawer is immaculate.
Immaculate. Immaculate.
Your sock drawer is immaculate.
First started to investigate Hudson. They came to suspect that maybe you had helped him steal the drugs that wended their way into Curtis Bradshaw's home.
Wend. Wend.
Steal the drugs that wended their way into Curtis Bradshaw's home.
The department couldn't take any real action against you, but you were told vice was never gonna happen.
Vice. Vice.
You were told vice was never gonna happen.
You applied 3 more times after your most recent rejection. I imagine you were incensed.
Incense. Incense.
I imagine you were incensed. To explain these...
Shoelace eyelets.
Shoelace. Shoelace.
Shoelace eyelets.
In his home, it was suspected that Vargas was maintaining an arsenal of untraceable, unregistered firearms.
Unregistered. Unregistered.
Maintaining an arsenal of untraceable, unregistered firearms.
The assault on Detective Bell's car was done with a modified MP5. Bradshaw was killed with a cold 9mm.
Colt. Colt.
Bradshaw was killed with a cold 9mm.
Could it be, Officer Reyes, that you were stockpiling your own personal armory?
Armory. Armory.
That you were stockpiling your own personal armory?